Dude, what the hell was that? The Montreal Canadiens have just lost themselves a game 9-5 to the Florida Panthers, and unfortunately, this game did not live up to the expectations bestowed upon it from the first 20 minutes of the game. We had a football game, literally, in the first period, and unfortunately, the goal scoring did not keep itself up throughout the rest, but there were still just so many goals, so many points, so many numbers to look at, and a bunch of stat padding going on that I wanted to make a video about this game. We don't usually make videos with the Streamlabs format going over post-game stuff, but the Canadiens just lost 9-5 to the Panthers, and they looked pretty... I don't want to say good, or I don't want to say bad. I mean, Jake Allen looked pretty bad, not gonna lie. But this was such a weird game, because if you go over to all the numbers here, 42-30 the shots on goal, Florida, and you have multi-point games coming out of... Hey, guess what? Anthony Richard, he gets himself a goal and an assist. Mike Matheson gets a goal and an assist. Jake Allen, a .667 save percentage on 18 shots. Montembeault, he had 2 stints in the game. They pulled him, then they put him back in after Allen kind of crapped the bed too. .875 save percentage on a 24-shot performance. Then you have the Panthers, with a whole bunch of guys getting multiple points. Barkov, 2 assists. Mateychuk, a goal and 3 assists. Carter Verhaeghe, 2 goals. Aaron Ekblad, 2 goals. How the heck do you let Aaron Ekblad, a defenseman, score 2 goals on you? Mahura also got himself 2 assists on the board too, and even though Sergei Bobrovsky let in 5 goals in this one, he had an .833 save percentage on the night, which was pretty good. The Canadiens had themselves a total of 6 shots in the first period, and 3 goals, so Bobrovsky had a .5 save percentage in that first period. But if you just go over everything here, I mean, Mike Matheson, of all people, gets everything started 16 seconds in, but then the floodgates really open. Colin White, Carter Verhaeghe, it's 2-1, 3 minutes in. Anthony Richard ties it up 2 minutes later, but then Gustav Forsling gets on the board. Response by Pezzetta, and then you have Florida. Ekblad, Lomberg, Reinhart, Carter Verhaeghe once again, 7-3 after the first period. And then unfortunately you have yourselves only 4 goals to round out the rest of the game. Harvey Pinard, Ekblad, Mateychuk, and then Rem Pitlick in the third period. But I wanted to go over some crazy numbers and stats that kind of just illustrate the bizarreness of this game. I'm not going to go out there and say this was a good game or a bad game or whatever, but it was a game. The Laval Rocket, plus a few other guys, went out there and had themselves a field day. Sportsnet Stats went out there and tweeted this. This is the fastest 7 goals to begin a game in NHL history. The Canadiens scored 7 goals, and it took them 11 minutes and 12 seconds to do so back in 1951. You then had the Panthers today. It took them 13 minutes to get 7 goals. The Habs then had themselves 7 goals in 16 minutes 2 times. And they're both against the St. Pats. They took place within 2 years of each other, so interesting to see that. Florida's literally going out here and breaking records. I mean, this is the second highest, or second fastest, I guess you could say, amount of time that it takes for one team to score 7 goals in the NHL's history books. You had even more crazy stats like this. ESPN Stats and Info tweeted this out. The Panthers and the Habs combined for 10 goals in the first, tying the NHL record for most goals in the first period by itself. Florida is the first team to score 7 goals in the opening period since the Hartford Whalers on 1985's October 19th game, also against the Canadiens. This stat also is a brutal one. Most goals allowed by a Habs team in a single period. Okay, 7 is the record here, but yeah, it's been accomplished 4 other times. All in the past, let's say, 50 years-ish, 80s, 1 in the 70s, and 2 in the 30s, and then tonight against Florida. This was also something that I wanted to bring up as well. Sebastian High tweeted this out. The Habs and Panthers have already tied the record for the 3rd most goals in a period of an NHL game ever. This was at the 10 mark in the first period. They needed 2 more in the next 5 minutes to tie the record for the most. The most is 12, and unfortunately the Canadiens and the Panthers were not able to get there. They weren't even able to get to 11, unfortunately, but still, getting up there and tying the 3rd most goals in a period in an NHL game ever is a pretty notable feat. It's one we don't normally see, and at the end of the day, I mean, the game was 9-5. When was the last time you saw a 14-goal game in the National Hockey League? What was the over on this one? 6.5? It took them, what, 10 minutes to get there? Like, oy, oy, oy. Crazy game, man. I'm not going to go out there and break down all the goals. We'd be here forever. Even if we spent like 30 seconds on each goal, that would be 8 minutes worth of a video. Is that correct? 16? No, it'd be 7 minutes worth of a video. Man, my math sucks. But either way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Canadiens and the Panthers and all the crazy stats with this game, dude. 9-5 Florida is the final score. I hope you enjoyed this Juraj 9, and bye.